What up, everybody? Back for my fourth episode. I can't believe I've been doing this for a month now. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Anyways, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about religion. I feel like it's a very taboo topic if you're not on one side or another. For this episode, I didn't really have any talking points or anything like that. I'm just kind of gonna go off, I guess. So when it comes to God, and God, in my opinion, is just another word for universe, universal energy, source energy, just that, unknown higher being or the greater good. I like to call it in a lot of cases. God is just equivalent of the greater good. Do you need religion to be good? Obviously not. Now, my take on religion. So I'll give you my background with religion. I was born and raised Catholic, Roman Catholic. I went to Sunday school. I went to church every Sunday for the majority of my life, my childhood, up until I was 18, on and off, but for the majority, I was a consistent church-going child. Even into high school, I did Vacation Bible School. I was a counselor for Vacation Bible School. I did that for 5 years. I did that from my freshman year in high school to my freshman year of college. And I used to walk myself, to church on Sunday, then down the street to my job and then home. And that was my routine. Like, that's just what I did. My parents highly encouraged me to go at a certain point. I may not have been super willing after the age of like 15 or so, but I continued to go consistently because that's just what my parents wanted me to do. So I felt this obligation to do so. I did take a lot from going to church. I will not say that it was all a negative, terrible experience, because that's not true at all. There were points when I actually really, really wanted to be in church, especially like when I was younger. It was when I got older that I started seeing the real hypocrisies and just the confinement and limitedness that surrounds religion. By that I mean, if I'm going to church every Sunday and, being told to live this way or, respect these rules, I can get down with that all day. Where I was put off, and I use this example because this is the moment I remember sitting in the second or third pew on the right side, listening to the older priest that would dictate the mass when I lived in Fort Huachuca. And it was just this really old guy talking, and his homily was directed towards gay people. And I myself am not gay, but I've been curious, and I have several friends who are gay. I have absolutely no, I see through what he's saying. And at this point, I'm about 17, 18. So I'm definitely able to kind of come to my own conclusions at this point and, see kind of things as they are. Keep in mind, I am still a very naive child. I haven't quite been through anything yet. I'm still living with my parents, not doing anything bad, or, I really just was the most innocent child. Like, it's disgusting. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. As much trouble as I got in, you would think I actually did some shit. But I just kind of kept all that information in my back pocket and treaded through life because I was still scared to really honestly stand up for myself or really say how I felt. It took me going through my near-death experience, leaving my parents' house, falling on my ass several times, and really figuring out what life is like and what life is about, and that there's just so much more to life than a religion, or just like needing to feel a certain type of way, or feeling like you're being judged for doing something in your life, or feeling like you're not adequate because you do something that might be against a church or a religion that you are, traditionally have grown up with, so you're feeling like you have to uphold those beliefs or rules or whatever. Honestly, my point with religion is, from my perspective, from what I've seen and what I've chose to put my energy towards, I feel like religion definitely seems to be something that was constructed by an elite group or a group of individuals who had power and control and chose to do something with it in a time where nobody was there to record or recall or really, nobody was fucking there, dude. So it was a construction of power, in my opinion, to divide the masses for control. It's a little fishy to me, honestly. Just the fact that there's so many holes in religion, and you can say all day, it's faith. You have to go in with blind faith. How about, honestly, my perspective is the most blind faith, but it's been proven to me, but there's nothing concrete. So I'm following my core, what I know to be my truth. Because from what I've learned about God is that we were created in his likeness. We are creators in that way of our own world. I am my own God, because I am now creating my world. I am not going to worship a jealous God who has restrictions and limitations on how I am supposed to be. That's not a God that I choose to worship. I choose to worship the God that was created within myself to be a likeness of God. I also want to go into this because a lot of people really hate when I say that I'm my own God. Like, oh my God, like how? Ew. Going to church justifies the bad shit that is done throughout the week. And then you just go to church and you're like, oh no, God loves me because I go to church every Sunday. Not because I'm a good person, not because I'm living by the word. If it was done from a place of open-mindedness and welcoming and, not this like, we're gonna make you think that you're welcome here and then really just kind of shut you down and tell you why you're evil or why you're living an evil life. Before I get too crazy and like build up too much hate, I want to just say, like, these are generalizations definitely that I am putting out there. I know that there are people who are true to the word that they're reading and that fully use religion as a guide through their life, not as a strict following rule book. The Bible, in my opinion, is a story of guides, a story of things to keep in mind throughout your life. It's not a matter of this is right and this is wrong. It's you are going to be who you are regardless because God made you that way. So there should be no hate, no shade thrown at anyone who isn't of this religion, isn't exactly as it is described in this Bible that no one knows who the fuck wrote because no one was fucking there. I could write a Bible right now and I feel like it would have more truth and more compassion, things that make sense than the fucking Bible. Like, I do want to make the point. If you are one of the people who are living your most authentic life and you need or you feel that connection to your God or to your religion and it is guiding you or has gotten you to a better place, then more power to you. The problem comes in when you try to force it onto other people. When you try to tell people that what they think is wrong because of your God said this, when that doesn't compute. When I'm talking to somebody religious and we're having a conversation, most of the time it's very one-sided. They're expecting to give me all of this information about their God and why their God is the one. And when I try to say my point of view that makes sense and has actual things that you can kind of be like, huh, Yeah, like that's a good point made. You don't get that when you're having a conversation with somebody who's so close-minded in religion. I don't know everyone, obviously. This is my perspective. This is the whole point of my channel, is to give my perspective, not change anyone's ideals. I'm not trying to sway. I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying is, why can't we just do our own thing? Why is there so much war over religion if it's so good? Why does it cause so much tension and controversy in the world if it's supposed to be so good? I don't fucking get it. Why is it any less if a child gets baptized? Like, why is that? What the fuck? Can't we have a spiritual baptism? I mean, we come into this world out of a woman's womb, which is filled with fluid and just energy and just this like life force. And now you get to be a creator of your own world and do whatever you want with it. Why do you have to be confined? Why should there be gay people out there who are so concerned and so attached to their view of religion that their parents or their family, you know, gave them? Maybe they don't have the same will that I have, and they care that much to stifle themselves. Do you really want to make your child feel like they are just a blemish, or they are just like a stain in your life because of the way that they were born, because of the way that your God made them? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I use the gay thing as a big one just because that was the kicker for me. There was a point when I kind of thought I was gay, but like I was definitely curious. Like I said, you don't like, so I'm in here, like I live by way more integrity than half the kids I go to school with that are in here, and I'm getting punished at home for absolutely nothing half the time. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why do I feel like I am such a bad person? What did I do? And then once you kind of like are able to see past yourself, to see past your own nose, you as a parent, you as a child living with parents who are like this, you have to be able to like make those decisions for yourself and be like, look, the religion is a fear-based mentality. You are worshiping, you are doing this with the fear of going to hell. You have to go to church. You have to believe in this God. Not everybody is a cookie cutter Catholic. Not everybody is a cookie cutter Mormon. Not everybody is a cookie cutter Christian or Jewish or whatever. Religion is a very easy way out mentality. Being woke or being aware, it is hard. You know, like once you awaken, once you start questioning the world and questioning your beliefs, it gets scary and you might feel like you're all by yourself and like you have no idea. I've had conversations with people and seen the look of just that like pending doom. They feel like I have just like cursed them for even giving them this perspective. I had a pastor tell me, he was a landlord for me. I didn't realize this until he was kicking me out. So I was staying in a pastor's house without realizing it, and you know, we're having a conversation of him kicking me out and why. This was when I was in my abusive relationship, so I was going through it and he could see that. So I had this conversation with him. It ended up taking a turn, and we had I found out he was a pastor. He said, he went into this story about how he had a lesbian staying in one of his houses and he had to get rid of her. And I, of course asked why. And he didn't want to deal with the way it looked, having this female bring several females. Apparently she constantly just had it coming in, whatever, having females in and out of her house. What if the chaplain sees? What if my boss sees? Whoever, is above the pastor, I don't know. But he was so like concerned with the way he looked, with the image he was trying to uphold with this community. And I had a very long conversation, and I don't remember specifics, but I do remember just kind of being like, what if I'm an angel? What if that was Jesus Christ and coming in this form to test you, and you failed, my friend? At that point, I think I told him I was an angel, and I in my heart I knew I was an angel. I've changed perspectives now. But this was then, and I, wholeheartedly told him, I'm an angel, and I don't know why you need to do this, or none of this makes sense, and told him why I don't feel it makes sense. Like I said, I don't remember the details, it was a while ago, but the conversation ended with him, this man, giving me a hug, asking me for a hug. Yes, he still kicked me out and whatever, but I feel as if I may have opened his mind at least to a different perspective. And if that's a pastor giving me, and I saw the look of, I don't know how to respond, so I'm just going to continue giving you these generic responses and hope that you just, agree all of a sudden. So yeah, he ended up giving me a hug. And yes, I got kicked out, but that was a memorable moment in my life. And this was still before I had gone through a lot of the shit that I still needed to go through, but I was very, very, very self-aware and saw people for who they were. Ever since my near-death experience, it's kind of like you can't really shake my belief. I am open to all possibilities, but I know my truth, and if I can help someone else find their truth through me talking, then whatever, that's cool. And if your truth involves a Catholic Church, then please do that. If you are living your truth, there is nothing wrong with God. Absolutely, there has to be a higher power. There has to be a source energy, a greater good, whatever is in the back of your head. There's no right or wrong decision. What makes a right and wrong decision is how it makes you feel. So if you think that going to church is a right decision because that's what everyone says, that's what your family does, but when you go, you really don't feel good when you go. If you don't feel good when you go to church, then you maybe need to figure out a better decision for yourself. Like yoga, meditation, worshiping the inner soul that is yourself. And if you think about it, a point that my husband likes to make a lot, and I love this because it kind of just like another just scientific fact that can maybe help ease you on this spinning ball of death, is as human beings, we're made of matter and energy. Two things which cannot be destroyed. So if you think about it, a soul can't be destroyed. So of course there is something after this. It's not as easy, it's not as black and white as heaven and hell or even purgatory, in my opinion. I think there are variations of the truth, and I think that everyone designs their own outcome. So if you do worship your God and you do go to church and you do all of these things hoping for heaven at the end of it, you better be living the authentic version of that so that you get the outcome that you're intending. Because if you're going through the motions of going to church and putting your energy into this false hope of whatever that you're doing, but still going out and doing everything that you know is wrong in your heart and doing things that don't make you feel good, then you're not going to get the outcome that you want. And it's all your fault in the end regardless. So why continue going down a path of uncertainty and inauthenticity? Inauthenticity, is that a word? Living a life of not being authentic, regardless of whether you're in church or out of church, is just not going to lead to a happy end. You can go to church till the day you die and still end up in hell because you are not being authentic. If your intentions are not where they need to be, then you're not going to be where you want to be when you die. When your soul leaves this earth or leaves the body that you're currently in right now, your mode of transportation through this dimension or this world, you're going to end up right back in the same situation that you were in to learn that lesson the right way until you figure it out. I believe we are seeking God's state. I believe that we are going towards something much better, much bigger. There's just so much more to life. And if you can live your authentic life and go to church, that's what I'm saying, do it. Like, I personally believe if you were to hold an intention detector, like boop, 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 you know what I mean? Over a prison and over a church, a Christian church or a Catholic church, whatever. the intentions of the people in prison, for a majority, in my opinion, would be much more authentic and pure than the intentions of the people going to church. Is this everyone? No, of course there's people who deserve to be in prison. And yes, I'm sure there's people who are doing what they need to do in church. To wrap it up, you guys, I hope I didn't raise too much tension or, or whatever. Like, come at me, bro. My intention isn't to upset anyone. My intention is to speak my truth and give my perspective on life and things that people don't really want to talk about. Everyone is at different stages in their life. I know some people are way ahead of me, some people are behind me, some people are in the middle, some people are in a gray area. Wherever you're at, there's still a chance of better or happiness. This one's gonna be ridiculous to post because I think I've said enough. I am a being of love, and I really just feel as if we're heading in a different direction as a human race. We are really needing to and heading in another direction. There's gonna be a point in time where everyone my age is in a place of power or in a place of actually being able to make changes, where the old fucking heads that haven't died in the White House or in Congress, they're not going to be around forever. They may be pumping the blood of young children to stay young and alive for as long as possible, but come on, they have to fucking die. My spiritual views tie in heavily to the age of Aquarius, and I have a lot of views on that I will be getting into. Definitely post your feedback. I want to know everyone else's thoughts. I want to know how upset I made you. Definitely appreciate any feedback, positive, negative. I'll take it as criticism. I won't be up crying at night because of anyone's comments, but I do appreciate and I love the feedback. I want to hear what everyone else thinks about this. Are you stuck in a place with your spiritualism or your religion? What are your thoughts? People don't really talk about it. I'm gonna have to make another video because so much I'm gonna have to talk about it next time. To wrap it up, next time on the Key to Zen, I'm gonna be talking about something that actually just really struck hard a chord with my heartstrings. I was watching Vice News last night, which you need to tune into Vice News, because Fox News, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing over there. But what? Is that even legal to have that as called news? What? The other ones, I don't even know because they're not on comedy specials and stuff. That's how I get my news. But Vice News is really the way to go. I definitely was shook by their segment on the new abortion bill and how it affected these mothers that made the decision to terminate their children after finding out that they had mortal illnesses, not compatible with life illnesses, and are made to feel as if they're monsters because they decided to. Anyways, so on my channel, I'm definitely going to be talking about some controversial things, so just be aware of that, because I'm at a point in my life where I've lived so much for other people for so long that I'm at a point now where I don't really give a fuck. If you love me, you love me. You're gonna love me regardless. If you hate me, you hate me. You're gonna hate me regardless. If you're watching this, you care, period. So I don't care where the feedback's coming from. This whole channel is just here to build myself and give myself confidence, and hopefully in turn put that on somebody else, open somebody else's eyes, give someone else a different perspective. Please don't take this as I am anti-religion, I am the anti-Christ, and I'm just against it all, because I am not. If you knew me and knew who I was as a person, you would know. Keep a open mind with everything that you see on my channel, because I'm coming from a very, very open-minded place. And I love and respect everyone. If you found your truth and your love through Jesus or the church, I found my God. And that brought me back. But my God isn't the same as that God. This is gonna be hard. Just in general, because I do have opposing views from that of my family. And I've had these conversations with my mom, but she's not going to change her beliefs. And I understand that. And I think she's finally understanding where I'm coming from with my beliefs. Not necessarily that I am against it, but I'm not necessarily going to be continuing on in that lifestyle. And hopefully, I know she may not accept it now, but I'm hoping that she can just understand that everything is coming from a really good place. My intentions are in check. My authenticity is peaking, and I'm really just trying to change the world. I don't just want to float like casually along in life at all. That's not really ever been my style. I'm just really coming into myself and figuring out like how we're gonna just take this world over, my husband and I. It's a work in progress, but you have to start somewhere. And yep, this was a hard topic to talk about, but I've been talking for 40 fucking minutes. So please subscribe if you vibe, and hit that bell so you can be notified. Also, can you like this video if you agree with it or if you hate it? If you completely disagree with me and don't want any more religious videos, let me know. If you loved it and want to give me your perspective, I'm down. If you have any ideas on other videos related topics, if you want to hear something similar to this, give me an idea what direction you want me to go, and if I get enough feedback, I may take it in that direction. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing my own thing, kind of just winging it and figuring out, as it comes with topics. Next week is still in the air. I was fully in for this one like 3 or 4 days ago. So can't believe I've already been doing this for a month. I think I have like 27 subscribers now. So maybe by this one I'll get like 30. I'm actually excited for once in my life to, record and edit, and I'm just making time for it, and it feels really good. And even though, I only have so many views and so many subscribers right now, I just see so much potential, and I'm really, really excited, and just excited to see where I can go and just hopefully help a lot of people along the way. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on the socials. I will have everything linked somewhere. And yeah, later, guys.